Okay, think about this. What if we could hit the fast forward button on medical discovery? Well, a new research framework called the Medical AI Scientist might just be the way to do it. And it's giving us a pretty wild glimpse into what the future of research could look like. So let's really dig into that idea for a second. Imagine an AI that's not just a tool for analyzing data. We're talking about an AI that comes up with its own ideas, its own hypotheses. It designs the experiments, it runs them, and then, get this, it even writes up the paper at the end. It's like having a fully autonomous research lab that never sleeps, working around the clock. That's the mind-blowing concept we're diving into.
But you might be asking, why do we even need something like this? It's a great question. And the answer is that modern science, well, it's hit a massive bottleneck.
Look, medical progress has been absolutely incredible, right? But here's the problem. The sheer amount of new data, new studies, new techniques, it's a total fire hose of information. It's awesome, but it's also becoming literally impossible for human researchers to keep up. So you have this strange situation where this explosion of information is creating a gap, and it's actually starting to slow down the pace of discovery.
Okay, so the obvious question is, why can't we just use the AIs we already have? Throw something like GPT or Gemini at it. Well, the researchers tried that, and it turns out these general-purpose AIs, they're just not built for the super high-stakes world of medicine. They can make stuff up, hallucinate, or totally miss crucial evidence. They have a hard time with specialized data like 3D scans, can blow past important ethical rules, and honestly, a lot of their ideas are just kind of shallow, not really actionable. So, to get around all those problems, the researchers decided to build something totally new, from the ground up. So let's meet our protagonist, the AI scientist. All right, here it is, the full blueprint. Now, I know it looks a little complicated, but just think of it this way. What you're looking at is basically a fully automated, superhuman research team. It's got specialized AI agents for every single step of the process, from the initial brainstorming all the way to writing the final paper. It's the whole shebang, an end-to-end system. Let's break that complex diagram down. The whole thing really boils down to this super simple but powerful three-step cycle. First, you have the idea proposer, which cooks up a research idea that's actually grounded in real medical facts. Then, the experimental executor takes that idea, runs the code, and sees if it actually works. And finally, the manuscript composer writes up the results into a professional paper, one that's ready for a conference.
Okay, this right here is the secret sauce. This is what makes it all work. The researchers call it a clinician-engineer co-reasoning mechanism. It's a mouthful, but what it means is that unlike the big commercial models that kind of pull answers out of thin air, this AI has to show its work. See how it connects every single part of its idea back to specific medical papers, specific engineering documents? This is huge. It basically stops it from hallucinating and makes sure every idea it comes up with is actually practical and based on facts you can check. All right, so the system sounds great in theory, but does it actually, work? To find out, the researchers set up the ultimate AI showdown.
In one corner, we have our challenger, the specialized medical AI scientist. And in the other corner, two of the heavyweights, the most powerful commercial AIs out there. The test was pretty straightforward. Give them all the same medical research tasks and see who comes out on top. Who can produce the best, most complete research?
And after the dust settled, the verdict was in. The results? Well, they weren't just good. They were straight-up conference quality. So first up, the quality of the ideas. They did a blind test where human medical experts rated the ideas from all three AIs without knowing which was which. And check this out. The medical AI scientist consistently scored higher. Its ideas were rated as more innovative, more mature, basically more fully formed than what the big-name competitors came up with. But hey, a great idea is pretty useless if you can't actually do anything with it, right? And this is where it gets really impressive. Execution. The medical AI scientist managed to turn its ideas into working, runnable code 93% of the time. That is a huge deal. It's a massive hurdle where other AIs just fall flat. It shows the system can actually go from concept to reality. And then there's the final output. Remember, this AI doesn't just do the experiment, it writes the paper. And again, in a blind test, human experts rated its final research papers as being just as good as papers published in top-tier medical AI conferences. Think about that. That is an absolutely incredible achievement. You don't even have to take my word for it. Just listen to what the human experts said. They called the work paradigm-shifting innovation. They praised its promising clinical applicability. So this wasn't just about getting the tech right. They saw this as genuinely useful, innovative science that could actually be used in the real world. Okay, so a super smart AI is cool, for sure. But what does this all mean for the bigger picture, for the future of medicine?
This is really the core of it all. If you can automate the entire research cycle from idea to paper, you can radically speed up discovery. I mean, just imagine it. An AI that could sift through mountains of genomic data to find new drug targets, or spot tiny, subtle patterns in thousands of medical scans, and do it all overnight? These are things that would take a team of humans years to accomplish. It could completely change the game, lowering the barrier to entry and letting more people find the next big breakthrough.
But let's pump the brakes just a little. It's important to be realistic here. And to their credit, the researchers are super upfront about the system's limitations right now. For one, the solutions it comes up with can sometimes be a little over-engineered, a bit too complex. Also, the experiments are still run on closed, predefined data sets. And while the results are really good, they don't quite beat the absolute top-of-the-line methods developed by the best human experts. So yeah, there's definitely still work to do. But even with those limitations, this leaves us with a pretty wild thought to chew on. We've just seen an AI that can come up with an idea, run the experiment, and publish a high-quality medical paper, all on its own. So as these systems get more and more powerful, it really makes you wonder, are we heading for a future where the next Nobel Prize in Medicine isn't awarded to just a person, but is shared between a human and their AI partner?